Now sports with sports director Paul Gerke.
Unlike most professional sports, the NFL doesn't have a dedicated minor league where wannabes and has-beens can work toward making it as pros. An all-Northwest organization called the PDFL, or Professional Developmental Football League, has been trying to fill that hole since its inception 5 years ago. And this year, the Boise Bandits joined the four-team league, but a tumultuous start for the expansion franchise has raised the question, who are the Bandits, the players or the owner? The Boise franchise was granted to Juan McCary, a Valley resident and Alabama native with ties to other local football programs. Former Meridian coach Jim McGahee was named head coach of the Bandits in December 2012 and was tasked with recruiting players to fill the roster.
My job was to get their interest and see if they wanted to come play, at which point I turned them over to our owner, and it was his job to discuss how much money they made and things like that.
When I spoke to someone about money, it was one. My promise was $150 a game.
Kevin Wishman, who played football at Rocky Mountain High School, said over a dozen players were recruited from out of state and promised between $150 and $200 per game. Juan also assured some players performance bonuses and a cut of memorabilia sales. These vows attracted a team of over 30 players. They started practicing in late spring and then assembled in mid-May to sign contracts.
All the contracts didn't have money values on them. That was the big thing. It said that we were going to play for this year for him, but no money value was added to it. What he told everyone was like, just read over the contract, I'll put your money values afterwards. And no one that I heard of has actually have a copy of that contract either. He has all of it.
Did he offer you guys a copy?
He didn't even offer us one.
According to multiple players, even after the money line on the contracts was left blank, McCary continued to promise them a paycheck. I caught up with Juan, who had contrary testimony regarding the money issue.
We signed the contract, so I get ready to leave. There's no dollar bills or anything like that. And then the coaches are out there, or a coach, and he said that, hey, these guys need to be paid. I'm like, okay, really? Are you serious? Our head coach at the time started telling these guys that they're getting a lot of pay. And we're not going to put it on contract because we never discussed anything like that.
Fast forward to practice on Monday, May 20th.
Monday morning, that's when it kind of went downhill. There are a bunch of kids there that I've never seen, some of which are 35, 40 plus years old.
I have a lot of friends that play football. So those guys are like, hey man, we're going to play, we're down with you. We know you are, Juan.
The owner came to me at practice and said, hey, I'm going to bring in some local guys so we can cut some of these other guys because I can't afford them. One kid that's 17 years old, another guy who's like pushing 50 years old, and that's going to get somebody hurt.
When my dad and Jim both confronted him about it, he said, from what I heard, he said, I don't care, this is my team, they're staying on the team.
Once he said that, I just said, I'm going to have to step aside.
The new players, including a teenage quarterback from a local high school team, didn't sit well with McGahee, who quit. Juan denied having anyone under 21 on the field, despite this video from practice exhibiting the opposite.
We're not getting high schoolers and playing football. To be honest, I can't think of anyone on the team that doesn't have any football experience, at least semi-pro, and has been playing at least a number of years.
Juan also informed the team that nobody would be paid to play. That prompted several high-profile players, including Boise State alum Josh Borgman, to abandon the Bandits.
None of the other teams are paying their players. Right. That's what the thing is.
But Juan isn't correct in that assessment. According to PDFL Commissioner Theo Hall, the Seattle team pays all of its players, and the Utah team pays some. But there's no rule that dictates a team must pay its players, yet.
The mandate to pay players is coming in the near future. But what we want to do, we wanted to make sure that we can get this thing off the ground so people can see that there is a market for this.
A few of the players who left the team returned to the Bandits for Saturday's exhibition against a ragtag ICFL team in order to get some game tape before deciding on their futures.
Most of them did come out here for film. $150, $300 a game isn't going to help them get further in their career.
But according to Kevin, the broken promises of game checks have put many of the out-of-state recruits in dire straits.
I know a lot of them are away from family, their wives, kids, and a lot of them drop full-time, good-paying jobs to come out here and play. A lot of these guys are just trying to get like a quick job so you even get a ticket to fly back home. It seems like they're basically stuck.
If there are some guys like that, I would definitely try to help them. If we're going to do this and we want to continue to do this, it's going to be based on a lot of reputation. Sure. And you don't want to, obviously, end up in a situation where you're having to explain yourself.
Juan McCary's reputation isn't the best, even disregarding his time with the Bandits. This is his criminal history with the Ada County court system. Commissioner Hall said he wasn't aware of it until after McCary had a team in his league.
It came out later. I didn't realize, what it was as far as his criminal background is concerned. But we're doing a way better job of combating that type of thing so it doesn't really happen again.
Now, because of their financial situation, the Bandits have yet to play against a PDFL opponent. 2 weekends ago, Portland bought Boise practice jerseys to help out before their scheduled game, but the Bandits were unable to secure transportation to Portland.
I'm trying to figure out who's telling the truth here. There's a couple of sides of this story, and there's so many questions just watching that piece.
More than two sides to the story, really.
Yeah.
That's true, but what I want to know is, what about the guys who've left the team? What are they saying they're going to do now?
I've spoken to a couple players, and they said they were just going to go by feel and see how the next few weeks go with the Bandits, and if they get the money they were promised, everything will be fine and they'll stick around. If they don't, they'll look into pursuing legal action against Juan McCary.
Sounds like there's going to be more to follow on this one.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, Paul.